This is the real one. What exactly is that instrument that you're playing there?
To play this song, I used a harpeggi, which is a 16-string sort of an electric guitar that you tap against the frets to make the music.
Is that the one that they did, that old song where it's like, wipe out, or no, not
This
that.
instrument was only invented about 12 years ago.
Really? Damn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great guest today. We have Foreskin Daddy Ron Lowe. He's the top #1 guy that knows everything about foreskin restoration, and he invented the TLC tugging device. This device is one of those things that you would, and I've known about this since I was like 15 years old, just a little precursor. This is something that you'd find on the internet, and you're like, wow, what a crazy device. But at the end of the day, it's an epidemic that people are circumcising men just without their consent. And that's why we have Mr. Ron Lowe on the show today to set the record straight, and we're going to get to the bottom of foreskin restoration and anything that has to do with penis. This is being gay for fun and profit. Thank you very much. We got Ron Lowe. Let's give a round of applause, guys. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, hell yeah. We also got Miss Lucy in the peanut gallery over here.
Hey, I'm here.
She doesn't have her microphone. They're going to do a debate later on. See, Lucy is a foreskin. She was born with a foreskin.
I'm a survivor.
She's a survivor. Yeah, she's a foreskin survivor.
We would say she's genitally intact.
She's an intact female.
Privileged.
She's a privileged, intact female. But somewhere along the line, she
lost her way.
She lost her way. She doesn't want her foreskin anymore.
But anyways, let's get into Ron.
We got Ron Lowe. We got some good questions. Thank you for being on the podcast, by the way. This is amazing that you're our first celebrity guest. This man's been on Howard Stern. He's been featured on HBO shows.
Vice
TV.
Learning Channel.
The Learning Channel. He has a
Time Magazine.
He has an IMDb bigger than mine.
BBC 3.
Nice.
We all love BBC. I know Chris loves BBC. So, Mr. Ron Lowe, we're all Chicago residents, so it's nice that we're able to have you on, and you're actually able to come in here, opposed to like
doing a Zoom
or something. So we're honored.
This is a real treat. I didn't even ask who's vaccinated, but I am, so I guess I don't care.
We're all vaccinated. Yeah. We all have our cards and stuff. Vaccination is key. We like to be safe, especially being an escort. Like, I got to make sure that I'm like double safe. I got as soon as I'm able to get that monkeypox vaccine, you better believe. Especially with like all these guys. Ooh,
well,
what's that you're drinking there?
Oh, I'm just drinking a crisp Benoit.
Have you explained that to me?
Do you know Chris Benoit, right? Yeah. So I got champagne because he's a fancy guy, and then I put a little bit of Monster Energy in there because there's a monster inside of that man.
So you invented this drink?
I invented this drink, yeah.
This is technically the official drink of the podcast.
The official drink of the podcast. But then I got Ron Lowe drinking Pepsi Nitro and Mount Gay rum.
Yeah,
so.
we should.
Hey, as far as I know.
Actually, yeah. Chris is drinking Mount Gay rum.
I was say, Lucy, do me a favor. Hold the bottle up to the camera. Yeah.
She's our Jamie right now. It's the finest
top shelf.
Mount Gay that was top shelf at Jewel Osco.
So you know it's good.
Yeah.
We're not even members.
We're not even members of Sam's Club, and we got a Jewel Osco.
Well,
so I don't fucking know.
All right. So good start. I want to get into some questions with Ron. I was wondering, when did you start this whole journey? Like,
I'll get a little long-winded because
absolutely, we got time.
I love to talk about me.
Yeah.
So back in, say, 86.
Okay.
This is the previous millennium.
Nice. Well, I was born in 87, so.
People weren't privileged like they are now with the foreskin tugging devices that they have today.
And the Chinese knockoffs.
Back in 86, I was oblivious to any issue surrounding circumcision. I assumed I had a normal penis. Now, I had asked my mom once as a kid. The kids on the playground are talking about who's circumcised and who's not, and what's that all about? And she just said, oh, don't worry about that. It's nasty to have that foreskin, so we cut it off you. You're fine.
She said those words, it's nasty to have foreskin.
I wasn't recording at the time, but it was
In your
something-
mind, that's how you remember it?
That's basically what I was told.
Yeah.
And so that was in the 70s. In 86,
hurtful.
I saw a magazine called the Mensa Bulletin,
Okay.
National Magazine for the High IQ Society.
Yeah, those
called-
are the high IQ. You have to
Yeah.
have a high they don't even let you. Eric Andre tried to break in there in a suit of armor,
Yes.
and they threw him out.
Yeah.
How
Neither
did
of
they
us
know
are.
he didn't qualify, though?
Yeah.
Just-
Well, neither
look
of
at
us
him.
are allowed in. So yeah.
So-
They won't let anybody in.
They had a multi-page article about circumcision and how, believe it or don't, folks, it's not necessary, is basically the tone of the article.
Well, see, before this podcast, I talked to my mom, who's a registered nurse, and I was like, I'm having Ron Lowe on, and she was like, who is this guy? I was like, well, he deals with foreskin restoration, and she was like, that's disgusting. Oh, well, you need a foreskin. You don't. If you have a foreskin, you get diseases. But that doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand.
Well, not
why
only
that
does it
would-
not make sense, it flies in the face of every medical association on earth.
Exactly.
No medical association endorses forcing children to be circumcised for any medical reason. So in 86, I saw this magazine with this article, and in the following couple months, there were letters to the editor about the article. That's the comment section used to be these. You physically write a letter with your pencil and you mail it to somebody. So there were comments, if you will,
Lucy, could you make me another crisp Benoit, please?
people saying that, hey, well, I saw your article and I have to affirm that, I'm intact here in Denmark or wherever, and we don't circumcise, and I've got no trouble for it. In fact, I'm convinced that I'm experiencing better sex than my cut peers. So that got me thinking that, okay, circumcision probably isn't necessary.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I heard a radio interview with Johnny B in Chicago. He had...
And this is still in the 80s.
In the mid-90s,
In
then,
the mid-90s.
this interview of Jim Bigelow, a doctor who'd written a book called The Joy of Uncircumcising, was touring to promote the book. And you can still get the book in PDF form. And at the time, he has since died, by the way. And at the time, he was telling Johnny B, listen, read my book. You'll be surprised how easy it is to tape a weight to your penis.
I'm sorry.
Whose phone is making a noise? The nerve of that.
Hey, I'm rude. I'm sorry.
This is episode
embarrassed.
16. We haven't figured out to shut the phone off
Well,
yet.
it's David fucking calling again.
That doesn't make it better.
I know it doesn't.
So Johnny B had on Dr. Jim Bigelow, who wrote The Joy of Uncircumcising. And in their conversation, I learned that Dr. Bigelow was taping a weight to his penis for several years, and that caused the skin on his penis to grow longer.
So
and
he would tape it with
Yeah.
duct tape.
with medical grade first aid type
See,
tape.
I tuck my penis between my legs because I'm a trans. Obviously, because I'm a trans woman. So sometimes when I go swimming, I tape my dick between my legs, and that shit fucking hurts really bad.
with duct tape.
Yes, with duct tape, it
That
stays.
seems like a bad call.
It does, but I'll tell you what, it makes it flat. It makes it flat in front and sexy.
Fair enough.
That is
As you
fair
wish.
enough.
So
Yeah.
so Dr. Jim says, hey, Johnny B, you'd really enjoy sex more if you taped a weight to your penis for several years and let your skin grow longer. And Johnny B says, after the guy hangs up, well, he had some good points, but I'm not going to tape a weight to it.
Yeah, that sounds like an owie, right?
Yeah, the sidekick Buzz Killman, the newsman, says, yeah, and couldn't he just wear a little hat?
Oh shit!
And they had a good laugh.
That's kind of like what your device is.
So 20 years later, I've got like 50,000 little hats hanging from 50,000 penises all over the world.
Yeah. You've done it.
So that was 95. I heard about that. And
So
then,
wait, so you engineered it all yourself?
Yeah, he makes
That's right.
them in his basement.
That's right. In 2001, I started restoring, and the method I started with involved tape because there were commercial devices you could buy.
Could you
like-
imagine people using super glue or something, like all these primitive foreskin devices? But my question though is when exactly were you shit, I should do something about
Yeah.
my foreskin?
So what happened was in 2001.
When did you start questioning yourself?
Right. In 2001, in 2000, my wife says, hey, whatever you do, don't schedule anything for Father's Day. There's going to be a surprise. And I didn't know what that was going to be. So it turned out we went to a romance hotel.
Oh, that's badass. Hell
And-
yeah. Hey, give me a high five, bro.
Yeah, just got to keep love fresh. So it was a boom chicka wow wow, hell of a porn kind of night.
Hell
But
yeah.
it
Nice.
wasn't quite up to my fantasies, and so that really got me questioning. Father's Day 2000. So by the end of that year, I was persuaded to decide to start restoring because I saw some things online. I researched lack of penile sensitivity and other terms like that. And I found out that people do use tapes, and there were even at the time commercial devices you could buy that didn't require tape.
Now, what do you mean, like, it wasn't too, like, were you having, like, erectile dysfunction? And
No
shit?
erectile dysfunction. What I was having was sex that took for freaking ever.
Yeah.
for me. You know,
I know how
we'd
is.
be in bed, and I'd be banging away at my wife, and after about an hour, when she had come several times, I had not finished.
Yeah.
What a
And
gentleman.
she'd say, "Can't
Right?
you?
Yeah.
What
can't
a
you
fucking
be
gentleman, dude.
Can't
Like,
you be done?" And I'd say, "Well, can't you? Break out some dirty talk or something to help me get there."
Yeah, we gotta
Oh,
get
you
there.
made it her fault. You
No, no.
said.
Well, hey, that's the problem with this is, men in the U.S. are harmed and they don't even know why, and that there is something wrong with them and not their partner. So
You're
In-
right. You're right.
in 2001, April 1st, I told my wife, I'm going to start taping my penis every day, so it's going to require you to be a little more in
Was she
tune
just
to our
like-
schedule and our needs, and you'll have to warn me when you need me to get cleaned off and untaped.
Right.
Wait a second. So she was just like, tape your penis. Cool. Like, there wasn't like, oh,
No,
this isn't
actually,
weird at all. Like,
The word she used was ridiculous. She says, that's ridiculous. And I said, well,
and this is because you read it in what's his face's book.
I was using the method like in his book, and using specifically an approach I found online, published by a guy named Bill Sides in Australia, who I've still never met, never had a chance to thank. But he had a method where he used a canister from 35 millimeter film, little plastic can,
Okay. Yeah.
and you'd cut the end out and use a binder clip for a handle. And anyway, there were ways
Very
to do it.
primitive. Very
Very
fucking
primitive. And
It's
so
like
I said,
it's like when you learn to smoke weed for the first time and you make a fucking bong out of a
Aluminum can.
aluminum can or like an aluminum foil.
Yeah,
or something,
sometimes you got to MacGyver your tugger.
so I MacGyvered myself a tugger, and I was willing to use it for a few months. And if it seemed to be working, then I was going to invest.
So how did you make your own? Like, what did you use
Yeah.
the same
Well,
technique?
he probably did that for a long time.
I did it for a while, and
The other method. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're
so
like,
you- yeah.
this isn't good enough. For
exactly.
me.
So I said, this is really inconvenient to be getting
Yeah.
untaped every time you take a shower and retaped as soon as you step out of the
Yeah,
shower,
yeah,
so
yeah.
your penis is almost never available
Well,
for
every time you have to piss too, I imagine.
Oh, well, with this canister method, you unhook a little handle and you poke the tip of your dink right through a little hole, and
I
you
love
can
how
urinate.
you say dink. I love that, by the way.
I like
That's
dink.
Cute.
It's a fun and harmless
That's cute
word.
and funny word. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You don't
So-
hear that usually.
It's easy to urinate with the canister method without getting untaped. But anyway, so I sent away for one of the commercial devices, and at the time, the guy who made the Recap EZ was the name of the device.
Mm-hmm.
He was like changing homes or something, and he wasn't officially taking orders. So he had my money, but he wasn't filling my order. And months went by, and he
Oh,
finally
right.
said, "I'm sorry, I'm kind of temporarily out of business."
Was he in the U.S.?
Yeah. So I got my money back, and I had been tinkering on my own anyway. So I
Tinkering on your dink.
tinkering with silicone and trying to figure out how to make one of these tapeless devices. So the original TLC Tugger was really just like something that was generously described by a guy named Dave Leary from England. And so I just copied him with his permission and blessing. I said, if I figure out how to make these in a reproducible way, would you be offended if I was offering to people for money? I'm not going to try to get rich off of this,
right.
but this could really help a lot of people. Your design is really cool. And he said, go for it. What a man. So
Shout outs to David Leary.
David Leary. And so I started making silicone devices for myself within a few months of taping, because taping
So
gets
they're made
old.
out of they're made out of silicone. It looks like hard plastic on the website.
A lot
little
of
bit.
people look at my pictures and they think it's hard plastic. So I
That's
need
what
to
it looks like. I'm
probably
telling
do
you.
a better job of making
You
that
should
clear.
make it clear, like say it right on the picture, like this is a silicone thing.
Soft silicone rubber.
Yeah.
Too lightweight, right?
No, I imagine it's lightweight because, like, one of my questions I wanted to ask is, well, how do you get through airport security? But if it's made out of silicone,
Well, the part that touches your skin is silicone, but there are metal parts. And early on in my restoring, when I was still taping, I had to appear in traffic court.
oh shit, you had to
And
go through the thing.
It
and-
was after 9/11, so
Oh,
they were
man.
using
Never forget, dude. They're too bad to the bone.
they were using metal detectors to get into court, and I walked through and I set the device, the magnetometer off because
Did you have to explain it to the?
yeah, it wasn't so much the tugging device part, but it was the metal clip of the elastic strap I was wearing. It was just suspenders I bought at Kmart.
Yeah.
They have a clip on either end, and that clip was pure steel, and it set the thing off. And they go, "Well, you have to come over here, and we'll see what's going on." And three
That's so
officers
funny.
were in this bathroom right adjacent to the entrance. And they gave me quite a smirk when I explained that, here, have a look. I'm doing
But you
this
want to
thing.
know what's funny is they probably saw it and they're like, "Well, I wish I had fucking foreskin." Right?
Maybe by now they've seen enough PR about this topic that they
Yeah.
thought that. But at the time, they definitely just thought I was some kind of loon. But I wore my tugging device into court, and I forget the outcome of the case. But anyway,
They said badass tugging device, Ron Lowe. You're off. We're letting you off the hook.
leave this one alone.
Leave this one alone. He's had it rough
He's
enough.
bad to the bone.
He's
So
bad to the bone.
I started making silicone devices, and my first attempt to offer it to other people was just the retaining cone shell, the little hat
yeah.
that lets you force the skin you've got left forward over the tip, so that
And I get to try
can
one of
protect
these.
you.
I get to, just so everyone knows at home, I get to try one of these devices later on. And I actually, a couple weeks ago, I challenged Mr. Ron Lowe to foreskin TLC tug of war.
and I
So-
foolishly accepted.
Foolishly accepted. So
Right into our trap.
right into our trap. So we're gonna see. I don't know. Maybe best 3 out of 5.
So I offered the Your Skin cone on eBay. I was communicating, and at the time, everybody, instead of user forums or Facebook or whatever, you would find people with your same interest in something called Yahoo Groups. And so all the people in Yahoo Groups
I remember Yahoo groups.
were curious about my tinkering, and I said, well, go to eBay and look at my listing. I'll sell you a Your Skin cone. And 5 people bought it in the first listing, but I didn't actually know how I was going to make it yet.
Right.
I knew what the product needed to look like, but to reproducibly manufacture it, I didn't have a method. So once they all bought it, I said, okay, you guys, wait, give me like a month. I'll give you free shipping as a reward for your patience. And I figured out how to make it using 3D printed molds.
And that's
I
before.
was going to say,
3D
this would have
printing
been
was
like early 3D printing.
This was very early 3D printing. And so
I noticed that there was like knockoff TLC tuggers out there that use your fucking design, and that kind of pissed me off because I was like, Ron Lowe's the OG. Everybody fucking knows that.
I almost could get over that. What's worse is in China, you can go on Taobao or these Chinese eBay equivalent websites,
Now that we're talking about Chinese,
and they will sell you a device. The description of the device says TLC tugger, foreskin restoration for the circumcised, and then it goes on to say a bunch of other keywords that are in our website's title bar, which have nothing to do with even what they're selling.
they're
Yeah, but
taking
just to link
foreskin
to their
They
value.
just
stuff.
cut and paste my title bar to attract an audience to their device, which, by the way, looks absolutely nothing like my device. It's 3D printed directly. It's got that
that
grainy
one-
finish that you're
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
That one looks like it's like even like fucking super hard plastic.
Yeah, brittle.
Like-
And so they're selling something completely unlike mine.
Reaching your goals.
So I'm gonna hit bad to the bone, and then we're gonna say we're back. We had technical difficulties, and then
You
The
can take
goals.
it off. Yeah.
all right, 3, 2. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. We had a few technical difficulties. The camera stopped rolling at some point. We still have audio, but we're back.
We're good.
We're back to the bone.
We're
Yes.
back to the bone. Yeah, Ron Lowe, you're so funny, man.
So I was telling you guys about what kind of goal statement would be necessary if you're going to undertake restoration. You should know when to stop, right? Well, some people never want to stop because it's kind of a hobby, but to decide when to stop, you should set a clear goal statement that you know when it'll be met. So one way to do that would be to say, for example, I can walk from the locker area at the club all the way to the showers and back again with my skin always covering the head of my penis. My foreskin, my faux skin, we say, never retracts during that hike.
So
And
when you tug it and you grow it back, it's called faux skin,
FAUX kind of
like faux. Okay,
Like faux leather.
but it's still just as good as real
It's,
skin.
it's
It
absolutely
is
real
real
skin.
skin,
It's
yeah.
just not really
It's
a
real
foreskin
skin.
because the parts that are cut away are very specialized. They're stuffed with pleasure-receptive nerve endings of a unique type called a Meissner's corpuscle. The structure of it is such that it really responds well to bending and straightening of the skin.
I know Lucy's had that issue.
And to give you an idea, you have Meissner's corpuscles in the palm of your hand, and far fewer of them on the back of your hand. So everybody who hears this is right now doing this same exercise where you tickle your palm, then tickle the back, and you realize you're a lot more ticklish on
More
the palm of your
sensitive,
hand.
yeah.
There's just a lot more going on there. So you can't replace the foreskin that's lost. But when you grow new skin, you got to decide when to stop. So let's say you get to the locker room, get to the showers and back in the locker room. Oh, I'm tickled. I met my goal. No, you didn't. Let's be sure we've met it by saying it's got to happen 5 days in a row.
Okay.
And the 5th day you say, that's it. I'm done. But you're not done, because when you stop all tugging, those circular skin cells in your matrix of skin that got stretched into ovals while you were tensioning them regularly, they're going to revert back to being circles.
Yeah.
You're going to lose a little of your apparent length. You're not losing cells, you're losing distortion of the skin.
Yeah.
So once the skin undistorts, you might lose a little of your apparent progress. So we say tug 10% past your goal. It's a number pulled out of my ass, to be straight with you.
But
110%. That's not enough.
So if it took you 55 months to hit that benchmark where you're able to strut back and forth to the showers, tug another 5 months. So now you're going to tug a total of 55 months.
That's 110%, and that's a phrase that has been around forever.
Now,
Yeah. Give it your all.
is there like
Plus 10%.
Is there like, could you tug for too long or anything
Yeah,
like
could
that?
you grow it out to be a fucking snake?
I mean,
Hold on, wait 1 second.
Go ahead.
Can you inflate it like
Yes.
a balloon?
I know I.
The answer is yes.
Oh my God. Well, there you
you
go.
already
There's
know the answer
Yeah.
to that, Lucy.
Well, yeah, you can, but
I
that-
know for a fact I've inflated your.
Well, I
Put
want
your
to
lips
know.
together
I want to
and
know
blow.
the point at
Has-
which you have
now,
to
have
stop.
you experienced the inflation?
yeah, I've tried inflation as a foreskin tensioning method.
That's so
Oh.
funny. Did it pop? Obviously,
Well,
it didn't
that's not
pop.
funny. Come on.
Yeah, it is.
And so what you do is you grip your skin to a device that allows you to introduce
air
air
pressure.
in a controlled way with a one-way valve so it doesn't come right out.
Was it an air compressor?
I didn't use an air compressor. Most people introduce the pressurized air either using a tube, mouth inflation,
I've
I
blown on
done
her.
it through her. She does it for me.
or they'll use a little squeeze bulb pump
Yeah.
to pump air
That
into the
wouldn't
foreskin
work
space.
as good as someone going.
And it stays in there because you use a one-way valve. Like these valves are sold in pet shops to allow the tubing for aquariums.
I have the saltwater tank, and that's
Yeah.
what I use to siphon my
Same little
stuff.
one-way valve, probably. Anyway, so yeah, you can use air to inflate your foreskin. But what the hell was I actually trying to tell you? So you
It's funny though. It's funny to think about.
Oh, can you pull it too far?
can you tug too long? Can you go too
Yeah,
far?
could you turn it into a snake?
It is my
Negative
belief
effects, yeah.
from talking to people and from my own observations
Take her microphone with
that you can't get to a point where your skin stops growing. That is, it will keep growing. Just like you've seen these ear gauging people.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
of 'em-
Hold on. My ears used to be. See, but it's different. It's different than the foreskin, because when I stop gauging my ear, my fucking ears close in size, because my ears used to be 1 inch, and you tell me,
Right.
is
so
that 1 inch?
So that's because there's no longer any stress on that body part. But with the penis, you're
So this
continuing
is
to have
faux
nocturnal
skin.
erections and to use your skin for wanking and whatever. So there's still stress on the skin, so it won't atrophy.
Uh-huh. So
Right
just
away.
your natural, like you said, getting an erection every now
Yeah.
and then. That's
So-
enough tension to keep the skin.
But you've seen,
there.
freaky looking people down in the whatever side of the village, or people in National Geographic that have grown their earlobes to dangle and
Yeah,
brush
yeah.
against
Well,
their
like
shoulders.
I said,
there's
mine
no
has been 1
stopping
inch.
point. Your body will keep growing as long as you keep tensioning it,
Uh-huh.
and that's true of the penile skin, as far as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's this guy in Mexico who claims he has a 19-inch penis,
Get the fuck out
but
of
it turns
here.
out he's just been yanking on his skin tube, and his foreskin will dangle nearly to his knee.
That still counts, though. That's still,
And-
I agree with him, because that still counts. It's still his penis.
yeah, but when you're
He probably says
that's
but
like if
it's
you
not
pull
erect.
your sock off of your foot and you're like,
I
oh, look
don't
how long
think-
my foot is.
Now, Ron, do you think
Yeah.
what if
Krusty
he
the
get-
Clown shoes.
Yeah.
If you think that guy with the 19-inch penis foreskin, do you think if he gets hard, do you think the foreskin will get blood in it too, or will it just be like?
I think, first of all, Krusty has little feet like all good-hearted people.
It's like Krusty wearing a long sock.
Not like Sideshow Bob, whose feet are actually big enough to fill out those shoes.
That's right.
Which we know. But anyway,
It's Krusty wearing Sideshow Bob's socks.
Tugger.
so yeah, the example of the guy whose photograph you can see online, who's setting all the records for the longest penis, it's the longest skin tube, and it looks
The
really
longest skin tube.
it looks
I like
really unhealthy. It looks like
That's
it's
like-
been tugged and caused scar tissue and this kind of thing. What we're growing,
Where is he from? You said.
I
Is he
just heard
from Mexico?
What we're doing when we
Ay,
tension the
ay,
skin
ay.
is growing healthy, well innervated, well supplied with blood vessels.
looks natural.
Skin.
Yeah.
And you
We'll
can,
see later. You know what?
We'll have a good look.
Honestly, I kind of want to see your foreskin right now.
I'm game.
Your
Oh,
game.
let's
Let me
finish
see it.
Lucy's question.
Well, I was gonna ask, do you have the hood on? Do you basically have a hood over?
Well, he said it took him 5 years to grow his foreskin.
Is it long
right?
enough to
That's
be
what
called
you
a
said,
hood?
right?
It's long enough to be called a hood. You can go to my website and see a photo of me. I went on the World Naked Bike Ride last August.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
To
That sounds
protest
kind
in
of-
favor of climate action.
Ooh.
That's awesome, dude.
And so I took off my Your Skin cone, the thing that keeps my skin from slinking off the glands while I sleep. Well, I wore it downtown because I didn't know what was going to happen. And when you're in public,
you gotta support your own product.
well,
you
that
know?
too. Not only
Well,
a
he didn't
president,
wanna
I'm
lose
also a
it.
client.
He's not gonna buy the Chinese one. Everyone knows that.
When you're in public, you don't want your skin to slink off the glands because the solution
you're
to
in
that
public,
is
everyone's
to
gonna laugh at you,
is to slip
obviously.
your hand down your pants and put it back where it goes.
well, I know
And
when
you don't
my-
want to be seen as the guy with his hand down his pants.
when my dick gets untucked. I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom
Yeah.
right away.
Wait! I thought this was a nude bike thing, though.
So I got downtown.
He had to take it
I
off,
got
dude.
nude with the other people in the preparation zone,
Mm-hmm.
and then we started biking around Chicago. 3 hours later, we took a rest break in Lincoln Park, and that's when the photo that's on
Wait.
my website was taken.
Wait a second. So it was just legal to ride around naked?
It's
Yeah, that's another
whether
thing.
it's legal or not, I'm not sure. But when you're part of a political protest, there are definitely clear exceptions.
How was
You-
how
you-
was the chafing afterwards? Because that had to be awful.
On your bike seat.
Something
For that ride, I wrapped my seat in an old T-shirt.
Okay.
Oh, he
yeah.
already prepared. He's
Yeah.
a Boy Scout, man.
I went for another ride just a few weeks later in Milwaukee, and I said, I wonder if I even need the wrapping thing. And I didn't. I just
So
went without.
you're a kinky ass dude, I'm thinking, because it seems to me.
Not too many people riding around naked on their bikes.
Wait,
in
wait, wait.
cities.
Well, let me ask you this: do you have any fetishes or fantasies?
Well, I want to show you something while we're
Let
talking
me
about
see
it.
this. Let me see this.
I'm running out of cable.
I'm really
Oh,
curious
here, let
as
me,
to what he's wearing, whether it's boxers or briefs.
Yeah,
or
that was
whatever.
one of my questions. Is boxers or briefs more conducive to
Shit's about to get real. I'm going to take off my pants.
Uh-oh.
It's a
Fuck.
good thing that we make Lucy go over there and make sure the camera's going.
You got it.
Make sure that get the GoPro and hold the GoPro. Is it going?
Oh, it's going.
Awesome.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun 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 dun. Whoa! What the fuck is that? That you have an L? That's how big his dick is. Do you see how big his dick is? He's got to sheath his dick. It's so big
See,
right now.
what I didn't understand is that when you tug it, it also turns it black.
It also turns it black when you tug it. Yeah.
Were you to think that, I wouldn't object, but this is not all me.
He came. He's a Boy Scout, dude. I want to say, were you ever a Boy Scout?
Did you?
No.
Because you're always prepared, dude.
I was gonna say, yeah. So you made this also. This
You
whole
sewed
like
this
case.
in your house?
Unfortunately, the woman who sewed this has died.
Oh.
This is
Aw,
called...
man, rest in peace.
Sorry to bring you down. This is called Tug and Wear. It's special underwear just for foreskin restoration. And what makes it special is this long snout. And at the bottom of that snout
Lucy, check the camera. Make sure it's in view.
is a reinforced slit. So if you were wearing a tension strap to your foot, you could connect the strap to your device by poking through that slit.
Interesting.
That's
But-
badass.
When you were doing that, should the device get loose from your penis, it only falls these few inches to the bottom of the pouch.
Have you ever thought about? Do you have different colors?
They come in different colors, but really,
oh shit, dude,
not-
that's awesome.
not that you have a choice of colors. It's just whichever fabric was on sale. Is what
But
they
she's
restock
not
with.
alive anymore, dude.
And-
Like these are exclusive.
These are collector's items right now, unless her daughter and her husband who survive.
You have to
can
learn how to do
resume the
this
business.
shit, dude. Like,
Yeah. So
you
anyway,
need to get some. You need to hire the Chinese people.
Tug and Wear is a special foreskin restoration jock. I'm wearing it with the seams facing out so they don't disturb my penis. I'm now going to take it off.
Let's see this dick.
Put down my mic.
Put on Bad to the Bone. What's up? That's pretty bad to the bone. What's B again?
That's bad.
Badass. Penis. That's a restored penis.
That
You look
is-
like an
yeah,
intact
that
man,
looks-
dude.
Yeah.
Jesus
definitely
Christ!
there's
What
definitely
a
hood on
reveal,
there.
dude.
So
you
now
don't
I'm
even.
wearing-
He's wearing that to advertise the product. I feel like.
I'm
but-
wearing a foreskin restoration tugger, And
You don't need it though,
clipped
dude.
to it is a 4-ounce weight. These weights come in all sizes, like 16-ounce even.
That's the faux skin.
And you can clip them to each other and have a weight dangling all the way to the ankle.
Wow.
And
That's the faux skin, dude. Like that's like
gripped by the clear silicone is my skin right now. I'm going to now take the weight off and show you an alternative way to use this device.
let me see this shit. God damn. Do you see that, Chris?
I see.
That's the faux skin. Give Chris the microphone so he can give
We're
this
sharing. We're sharing.
Okay, there we go.
Let me feel this weight.
4-ounce weight.
Oh wow, that's like a fucking roll of dimes.
roll of
Is this
quarters.
literally a roll of dimes? That's a roll of dimes right there.
So when I went to the Milwaukee naked bike ride 2 weeks later, I said, well, I got to really make a statement. So I wore a device instead of going completely naked, and I attached this sign to it for climate change.
It says erect wind and solar. Oh shit, that's fucking awesome. He tugged his penis with it. Oh man.
See, now we're saving lives.
Dude, you have Ron Lowe, I'll let you know right now, man.
Rent this space.
You have a nice ass too for an intact man.
I'll take it.
Yeah, good for you, man. Take that shit.
That's awesome.
So I wore this sign riding the bike in the Milwaukee ride, but I have this magnetic release so that if anything was to happen, my sign got snagged in my spokes or something.
Oh God, yeah, good call.
I'd be
Yeah,
safe.
that's a good call.
Jesus Christ,
Dude,
imagine
could
how
you imagine
terrible.
that? That's fair. You get your dick strings caught in a spoke. and you
Imagine,
just rip
imagine.
your
What
foreskin.
did I say? You
You have
wasted
to-
5
you
years.
get re-circumcised in the worst way.
So,
I
okay.
feel like that's a little worse than the hospital way.
So let's have a look at my skin tube. Depending on temperature and mood, even somebody who's restored for the 5 years that I have will sometimes appear looking like other circumcised guys.
Look at that dick. That's a nice
But I'm
dick.
going to take this device off and we'll see where my skin wants to
Okay.
rest. Wish me luck.
I wish you luck. Here, just pass down the microphones while he does this, and then when he's ready, give him his microphone back.
Yeah, boss.
I'm the boss.
I mean, yeah, that
That looks good.
That's
See?
like that's a fucking that's an
That's-
uncircumcised penis.
That's something that I would strive for, but you see, I have too much.
Support your cause, dude.
Now,
Wait, Lucy, pull your penis out.
well,
Pull your penis
suppose,
out,
Yeah,
Lucy.
here we go. I guess we have
let's
to
see.
now.
Let's see.
Fine.
This is an uncircumcised penis right here. Here, Ron Lowe. Here's a microphone.
Thank you.
We're just like playing mariachi, patching around the fucking things.
It's fine. It'll be funny editing because I'm gonna all the waves are gonna be fucked.
I feel like it's all gross. See, that's the thing.
No, dude,
Yeah.
put the foreskin
Yeah,
forward.
I want to see.
I want to see that. So hers.
See, there's too much.
Let me see you. Let me see you,
Let's see.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take this thing off. Take the thing off. Let's see. Dude, that's an uncircumcised penis right there. They look the same, except hers is a little forward.
Hold on.
Oh, you have to push the Hello. Oh,
It's working now. With enough manipulation, as you see, my skin has now rolled off the glands.
Well, because it's
And
tight,
you
right?
couldn't even tell that I was ever restored. So
Do you mind?
the thing
Can
is,
I
got
touch
this
it?
photo that I took after 3 hours of naked bike riding, and my skin looks clamped shut, like the tightest natural foreskin you ever saw.
Yeah.
So it can vary. Depends on temperature.
It's
and
just
mood,
all-
like I
yeah.
said.
Listen, can I touch it, Rambo?
The answer is no.
Okay, good. Good answer.
Yeah.
That's a married man right there. I'm sorry for asking.
That was a little bit.
I wanted to see if it was real foreskin, if it felt real.
You got excited.
I did get excited. Let's see it rolled up though.
So there it is.
Oh, this is what it looks like in the cone.
See, if I put that thing on my dick, I feel like that would go down to my knees.
So that thing will like stay on your dick no matter how hard you pull.
Pretty much. We do have intact clients who say, my parents retracted my foreskin when I was an infant, and so it didn't grow as long as it was supposed to, or just I'm naturally shorter than the other guys I see, so I'd like to grow my skin longer. I'd like to be able to dock with other gay men.
That's awesome.
And so they want to grow their skin as long as possible. So we have a lot of intact clients, not just circumcised clients.
Andrew, I didn't.
Now, do you have to take that off every
Th-
time
so-
you
so-
urinate
so-
throughout the day?
So they
Right.
want a bigger foreskin to dock even more.
Exactly.
So you can stretch
I'm
these.
going to
as-
put my naked ass on your chair, by the way.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. You're good. This is safe. Here, you know what? Here, I'm gonna give you.
I want to
this
take
one
my
back.
pants off just to be
Cheers.
part of this.
Yeah, let's. Chris, take your pants off. We're all friends here. We're all fucking. You know what? If Ron Lowe's dick is out, everyone's dick is out, right?
It's like when you're at the White House and the president is standing, everybody else is standing.
When
yeah.
Donald Trump has his dick out, everybody else has his dick. That's how he said, well, you know what? If my dick is out, everyone's dick is out.
That's why the FBI got him.
That's why the FBI raided his house the other day, because he had like everyone's
dick out.
They wanted to see people's foreskins to see if they're intact or not.
No.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to get out the device that I brought for you to wear.
Yeah, get it out. So Ron Lowe, for the tug of war thing that we're doing.
Oh, I'm showing the audience my asshole. Sorry.
It's all good.
No, you're all good, man. We're for YouTube. We got Patreon. We'll put a cross over your asshole. Like a Jesus Christ cross.
No.
I'll just put the TLC Tugger.
Yeah, that TLC.
Yeah.
See, now that we're talking about it, it's going to keep changing over and over again.
Now, see.
How's that Chris Benoit, Chris?
Hey, while I'm fishing through my props, I'd like to divert for a second.
You're fine.
Read this.
Let me see this. Halloween XXX1V. What does that mean? 32? You're smart as hell.
Fun, I know. All right.
This is a convention of that Mensa Society.
Oh, Halloween.
That was the M is for Mensa. That
Take
was
your
held in
dick out, Chris.
2007. What does it say
You
at the
take
bottom?
your dick out too,
This
Lucy.
is just good enough.
Yes.
Ron Lowe's dick is out.
This is the program for the weekend convention that was held in Chicago for the Mensa people. And I want you to read the title of the presentation that I gave in 2007.
Dude, that's so fucking
Oh, that's
funny.
awesome. This was meant to be, Ron. This was
Dude,
meant to be.
Can I see
Hold
what's
on.
going on there?
Dude, it says foreskin restoration for fun and profit, and the name of our podcast is Being Gay for Fun and
This is what,
Profit.
2007.
Yes.
Almost 14
Let's do it.
years.
Let's do a three-way high five right now.
Yeah,
Let's
that-
get
that-
this.
That deserves a
Get
fucking...
it in there, guys.
Yes.
Dude, that's
Great
what I'm
title.
talking about.
Nice.
Dude, Ron Lowe, you're so funny.
awesome.
Let's read what it has to say, though. Hold on, what do we got here? We say Ron Lowe. So there's no E at the end. I thought there was an E at the end. I feel bad. So it's Ron Lowe.
I say Lao.
Lau. So Ron Lau has been curious about what circumcised men might be missing since the issue has been debated. Letter section Mensa Bulletin in the 1980s. Flash forward.
Excuse me. Ron Lau has been curious about what circumcised
I
men
suck.
might
I
be
know.
missing ever since the issue was debated in the letters section of the Mensa Bulletin in the 80s. Flash forward 20 years, he has not only restored his own foreskin, he has helped over 8,000 men, 50,000 now, undertake non-surgical foreskin restoration. In a lively and explicit audio-video format, Ron will tell you why men do it, how it is accomplished, and what the future holds for TLC Tugger, his family's foreskin restoration devices empire. This presentation contains clinical but graphic photos.
50,000 men.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. That's almost 100,000 men.
I've got some exciting news.
What's
Do you see this empty baggie?
Yeah, what is that?
This is the device I brought for you.
Is it?
Yikes.
Yeah, there's a problem. But I always have samples in my fanny pack.
That's fine. That's
So
fine.
we're going to use the alternate device
I'm cool with that.
when you're ready to try restoring. Let me get that out. Hold on.
Let's see it. Ron Lowe, that's our guy right there.
Yeah, what happened was I saw this device sitting on the counter and I thought that can't be the one that I was planning to bring because I already stored that one and I guess I fucked up. Sorry.
Well, dude, don't worry about it, man. I'm not going to knock you.
Ron, how do you feel about, like, for example, the guys that have too much foreskin?
Are there now? Answer that, and then I have a question.
I mean, it's only for the penis owner to decide if they have too much foreskin, but they always have a choice. There's a procedure called PrepX, PREPEX.
Is that a little off the top?
That's an adult circumcision method, which is exactly as simple and barbaric as the most common method that's used on infants, which is called plastibell.
Okay.
So you can do the same infant procedure, but on an adult. But it's easier because the skin is usually already unfused from the head of the penis. So these lesions that you cause by
Ew.
tearing it away aren't caused. So adult circumcision is easier and less painful.
And
You
maybe
really?
more safe, probably, too, because adults, I'm assuming, will take care of it as
They
opposed
can
to a baby.
they can manage their own hygiene. They
Yeah.
can tell you where it hurts. They can tolerate higher doses of pain medication. You know what they're already
See,
allergic to
Well,
in terms of medicine.
I've had my tits and my ass done, and I'll tell you right now, I know that I kept my shit clean. You
have
know?
to. You have to.
I
Otherwise,
have
you're going to
to.
get an infection. That's
Yeah,
the
I
bottom
imagine
line.
babies just shit and piss on themselves.
Well, that's why they don't give babies BBLs.
They don't give babies BBLs for that exact reason. That's amazing. Ron Lowe.
Hold on.
He has his Barney bag of imagination over here.
Okay.
See, now I want to get the procedure that just takes a little off the top, maybe like a
She
quarter
wants
inch.
she wants to get
I want to have a Ron Lau foreskin.
she wants about a 0 on the sides and then like a 1 on the top.
Because I'm honestly I'm impressed with your foreskin. It's not too much, not too little.
That's a good foreskin.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He requested that I brought a that I had like a bowl and like
Now,
washcloths.
what was the part that holds the foreskin onto the dick? Do you remember, Jordan? You just told me about that the other day.
The frenulum.
The
frenulum, yeah, the frenulum.
The frenulum.
That's what people get their dick pierced.
Well,
that's what they do
well,
sometimes.
The frenulum, whatever it is.
It's
it
the
needs
frenulum.
It needs to be pulled back.
What?
Yeah. People need to pull it back, all the way back.
She's about to school you.
If I was going to
can
have
tell.
intimacy with somebody who had a foreskin,
Yeah.
I would ask them to show me how far their skin comfortably retracts.
Well,
A lot of people in the U.S., since they have little experience with intact guys, they will just start wanking on a dink
And it'll hurt
the way they're
them.
used to with circumcised guys, and it literally hurts. It can literally injure.
Oh,
Can
yeah.
you
Foreskin.
can you rate her foreskin?
Exquisite.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
It's an exquisite foreskin.
It's a full foreskin and a little bit more, if anything.
She's an intact woman.
Anyway, so here's the bad news. The device I brought that I'm going to have you try is part of our TLCX system, and so the interior of it is kind of geometric looking, like a robot should wear this.
You're
But it's
you're
okay.
a musician, right? I can slap bass with my dick, dude.
Yeah. It's okay because your dink will be pushed in there and then we'll be pulling away, so it's not like you're squished into this little space. So it'll be fine.
My dink is strong.
Unfortunately, it's not the one I intended for you to have. I'll mail that to you, but this is
I mean,
This
This
one
is gonna
good.
work for the
This is
tug of
good.
war.
This
This
is
will be
good.
fine.
you see that wall right there with all the porn stuff? That's exactly where it's gonna go. It's gonna go right on the wall where I was nominated for
So
an Exotica award.
what I'd like you to do is take this to the washroom and wash it because it's been in my purse.
Give
This
it a
is
good
fresh.
alcohol rub or whatever. it
I
needs.
got you.
Ron, have you ever had an ultrasound done?
Of my foreskin?
Well, have you? I mean, no. What is it called? Not an ultrasound. Sounding. Yes.
Oh,
Sounding.
I'm not into sounding.
Okay.
But,
yeah. My bad.
years before I ever restored, I did get a kidney infection
Oh.
that required a camera type deal to be snaked up my penis.
Yikes.
And that was an in-hospital kind of procedure, but you drive yourself home the same day. And I survived it. You know,
Hey,
you're kind of pissing blood for a couple of days because they
Ouch.
scratched the interior. But so I've had that procedure, and again, that was before I ever restored. It was not a result of anything I did.
Yeah.
restoring.
I feel you on that. I actually had kidney stones at age like 23. So
Sorry to hear
I had
that.
to get a stent and everything. So yeah, they had like this crazy gun-looking thing that just pulled like the. It was weird. I didn't like it.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
What am I looking for?
I was gonna say, you actually have like the full. We did. I think I think Jordan did the full like actual measurements. But how did you figure out the formula for what needed to be measured to like?
Right. So
fucking used a dollar bill. He's like a circus guy. He can look at a dollar bill and see he can tell
It's-
how big your foreskin
it's not some kind of mind trick. What I did was, since Jordan didn't have a ruler handy, actually in the photos you showed me a ruler, so I'm not sure why we needed the dollar bill.
Hold on, let me see. Give me your microphone, Lucy. Like, listen. So I had to literally. You know how hard it is to get like a straight ruler that tells millimeters nowadays.
I didn't need millimeters. What I needed was a legitimate ruler, which you showed me in the photo. We could
Well,
have
that
done with
was-
just that.
That was you said a straight ruler that
Anyway.
told millimeters. That was a
So
that was
Jordan's
centimeters.
penis was laying on a dollar bill, and so I copied that photo into PowerPoint, mapped a rectangle across the width of the penis, and then mapped a rectangle across the width of the dollar bill. Looked up how wide an actual dollar bill is,
Okay.
and then with a little algebra,
Oh, nice.
I was able to determine how wide that penis was and make the perfect device for it. So
So
people do that for me sometimes if they don't have a ruler handy.
every single one is specifically custom.
Every TLC Tugger device is custom made to your measurements.
There you go.
So he saw the picture that I took 2 feet. He said, all it needs to be is 2 feet away from your penis and have it next to a dollar bill, and I got you. And then I sent the text message. I was like, I've never heard this. I don't know what's going on now. What do you want? You want something to drink?
Hold this microphone close to my face.
Hold it.
So if the camera is too close to the penis when we take this sizing photo, then there's an angle. When you're viewing this side of the penis and this side of the penis, you're looking from 2 different angles, and so there's distortion because sighting past this side of the penis, you're hitting a spot in the ruler that's way over here instead of where the penis width actually is. So that's why we say the camera has to be at least 2 feet away, because then the error is less than 1 millimeter.
Ah. I have the dollar right over here, and you want to know what we?
I don't want to touch it, by the way.
I went out. I went out earlier. That's why you have to be careful when you go to strip clubs. But when you, we couldn't find a. This is the device, by the way, that he gave me. I don't know.
Nice little cone.
It's a little hat. It's like a little, like when you go to the parades and you see the guys with the fezzes that ride around the little cars. That's what this reminds me of. You should make them little red things with tassels on top.
Yeah, more
We
colors.
can
would
add dye to the
definitely help.
silicone.
You can make them fucking cooler, dude. You've
You
been
could.
around for too long. You should make them fucking swag.
If you do me a favor, stand up.
All right, I got you.
Maybe you need some help holding your microphone so your
All right,
comments
all
will be
right,
heard.
all right.
What I'd like you to do is...
I washed the tip of my penis too before I.
Wow, are we
Good
tangling?
job.
Hold
I
on.
Good
was.
job.
I was ready. I was prepared. I didn't want to offend you.
What I'd like you to do is force the skin you've got today to cover the end of your penis right now. Tuck the tip in with your thumb if you have to. And now, once it's all bunched up like that, use this cone.
Give me that. I want to tell you. When I was little, I would call this position in the bag. That's what I would say. So I don't know. That's weird. I don't know.